Hey everyone, it is Desiree, and I am here with something that's really different. Now, we've seen one of these Phomemo printers. Now, I was contacted a while ago for this, asked if I would, look at it, review it, put a video together, and back then I said, sure. There's all kinds of different uses that we could use with this or do in our paper crafting world. And remember, it's anything paper, so you'll see what I'm looking at here. And it just took a while because then we got hit with the COVID. So that kind of delayed me getting this. But again, not a problem, not a worry. We have it now, and we are going to have fun playing. Now, I did put some of the things together because I wanted to make sure that I was used to it so I wasn't fumbling too much. But for the most part, I didn't really dig. We are going to see exactly what this can do. And what it can. Now, I know in here I have the white paper, and for here I have the adhesive transparent thermal film. And you can see it just says long-lasting thermal paper. I think they're changing around some papers. I know there's new ones out now. More selection than what they had when this first came out and people started reviewing, which is awesome. And there are papers that will last for 20 years and so forth. So there is a lifespan on the papers. However, so they can't say that they are archival, acid free or anything like that. So there may be some things that may fade, but this one just says long lasting. So let's play. Now I'm going to have my phone here as well, which is weird because I also record with another phone. So this was interesting. It kind of stumped me just a little bit, but just know that when you have this, you will put an app on your phone. And that's what it looks like right there. And pretty much that app will do everything for you, which is wonderful. So I'll show you how I use this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to real quick just make sure that my screen does not lock up for right now, because then we will just be going crazy with that. So let me get back onto that screen. Okay. So again, you also use your iPad for this as well. But just make sure that it does have to have Bluetooth because that's how this connects. Okay, so before we get into that, let's look at the box. It is a really nice box. It's very sturdy. It's solid. It's not a squishy box in any way, shape, or form. It's one of those, that you just have to hold and wait until it disconnects from itself. I mean, but you can see it is a nice constructed box. You do get your user manual, which of course I do not read. I'm just saying. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to operate even without using the manual. You have a cord here that you can connect to your computer for charging purposes. It's not that long, so I mean it has to be close by for this, but it's an okay length. And then here is the system. I have the pink. It comes in all colors, all kinds of different colors, and even prints. I think they still have the piano print, which is awesome. And again, I'll have a link down to their shop so that you can check this out if you're interested, if it fits within your crafting or paper crafting needs. So here, this is the size. This is about 3 1/4 by 3 3/8, and it is approximately 1 3/4 inches tall. So 1 3/4 inches tall, and then 3 1/4 by 3 3/8. You can see here's the opening where the paper will come out. Here is your power button, and here is the button that will open this up. So if I hold this down, you can see it will go green, and green means it is ready to work. If it's red, it needs to be charged. This here, if I push this back, that is what opens the system. And you can see we have the paper in here, and we have the 2 cartridges that hold the roll of paper. This does not use any ink. This is a thermal printer. So you're not going to have to buy ink cartridges. You would just buy your paper cartridges as you use them, or if you want different looking paper cartridges. So keep that in mind. What is in here right now is the white, and it'll print on black. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that this is just laying down. I'm going to close this, and it will snap close, and now I'm back to the green light. It goes red once it's open. So I'm going to let this sit here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my app. Now I get images from mainly Pinterest. I make sure that they're free. We don't want to do any copyright violations. Even if we change the size of a photo, that's a copyright violation. So I usually just go. Now I only have a few in there, but what I want to do is I want to open up my app. Let me see here. And then what I want to do, this all comes up. All right, so I know I can pull from the web. I have templates. I can do a toolbox here. I can do a micro print. Can do notes. So we'll click on all of these to see what they're doing. So I'm going to click on print images. Now the images that will come up are the images that are in my my feed. So this isn't black and white, but curious to know how this would print so that, and then that shrinks it down just a little bit. So this icon up here will turn it, this one will remove it, and this one will change the size of it. Up in the other section here, I have a print button, so I'm just going to click on print. You can see that is what it's going to look like. It's going to give you a print preview, and that is just absolutely gorgeous. I hope you can't see the cracks that are in my screen here. What I'm going to do now, since I know what that looks like, I'm going to click my print button down at the bottom. This is automatically going to sync up with my printer, okay? So that it's going to print. So it goes through, it connects through to the Bluetooth. Now you saw that there was a line up there that I clicked. That's what activates the connection to get into this. So I'm going to hit print again, and then she's going to come out, and look how fast that prints. And I will rip that off, and now I have a beautiful teeny tiny rose. Now again, this is on white paper. All right, and again, no ink. It is a thermal printer. I'm just going to pull out a piece of cardstock, and I will just put this down. So that's just a very small way to use this. Now, you can also use it for quotes. Now, you saw one of my quotes. I absolutely love that quote, meditation because murder is messy. Now, again, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, I can change the size, I can turn it, I can shrink it down, or I can remove it. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit my printer in the upper portion there. And because I'm already connected, I'm just going to hit print. And the moment you hit print, the moment it starts printing, it is absolutely amazing how quick this goes. I think it's cute. I'm just saying. I love sarcastic sentiments, and that's pretty much it for me. Again, I'm going to put this onto my cardstock. Now, you can also get frames. That was something else that I looked at. Just remember, this prints in black and white. There is no color with the tape or with the printer, with the papers that I'm using today. There is a paper that just has been released that when it prints, it will be blue, like a blue like this. But remember, this will not, like this looks like a deep rose. It's going to print in black and white. Now, this is perfect if you are that, and again, it'll convert it to black and white so that you can see it. And again, the moment I hit print, the moment this comes out, this is wonderful for a planner. If you use your planners, if you have bullet journals and you just want to put some stickers in there, this is definitely awesome. This may even make me get back into planning again. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to get your images. Again, you can get so many images from Pinterest. That's where I get mine. I also can get them from the web, again, as long as they're listed as free, to not violate anything that we're doing. And again, if I just go back, I could continue to print my images. Now, I'm curious if I take can't let you see all my images. So I'm wondering what this one would look like if I hit that. Oh, isn't that pretty? That is what that image would look like if I print. So let's see. Isn't that pretty? I still think that is really, really pretty. Now, again, this is the white paper that I am having way too much fun with. I'm just saying. Now, let's look at the different papers. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, okay? And I'm going to, clicking on graphic, and it's thinking. So you can see there's already some things in here that you can print down. You have Festival, you have Basics, you have Magic Garden. Oh, look at all the fun images there. You have some word art. And then you have some calendar images that you can print down. We've got some characters, some preventions. Oh, look, they even have wear mask. I'm kind of liking the comic. Because even though it says comic, I think they had some beautiful images that can be print down. And I am thinking of my journals when it comes to this. Now, again, they're kind of small, but to look at that and how that would look. We will be working with some tags in a moment. So it looks like they're always providing you with some images, and then just putting them where they need to go. Okay, so let's go to the other paper. Now let's click on scan. So it looks like I can scan too as well. If I click that button, they're going to access my camera. Just click OK. And it looks like that I would be able to take that picture. So that is a photo. I will hit the check mark, and now it's in there. Okay, that's just cool. So now it's taking all of that information. I can change it up, I can erase it, I can clean it up, I can put it in a folder, or I can simply print that. So it gives it like a different look. So you can even take pictures of what you have in front for your printer. So that was fun. Again, giving you my first reaction from the time that I did somewhat open it up earlier. These stickers are very sticky. You can see that when it came to this one, when I picked it up, it did pull the paper, so they are very strong. But let's get back to the beginning. And you'll always see up here that it will say connected. But that's okay when it says disconnected. Okay, I'll show you that again. So let's change our paper. So again, I'm going to turn it to the side. I am going to push this, and now I'm going to open it. And I'm going to pull this cartridge out. Now, you want to make sure that when it comes to this, that the rolls that you're using stay very tight. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you pull this one out, and I'm going to put this one here, and I want to make sure that this opening here in the plastic, this paper is going to come through. I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to put this in my box so that this stays tightly wound as it can. Because if it unwinds, it will take you forever to wind it back up. So I'm going to take this, and same thing. I'm going to pull this down. And now it's in there. And now I'm going to pull. But I'm only going to hold on to these plastic, the plastic edges. And I'm just going to bend this back on itself so that that's going to give me a tag. Now, it's funny. I absolutely felt this roll just like unwind and loosen up in this packaging. Now, on the side here, you can see that this is rounded and this is flat. You want to make sure that that is how you're going to put it in your machine. So let me, oh, that's nice and tight now. So I'm just going to bend this back a little bit. Take this to the side, because if you look, I don't know if you can see that in there, but if you look down in here, that's exactly how you're going to place your cartridge. So that when you close this, and again, you can just hold that down, so that when you close it, I'm red, now it's green, and you notice that came back to life. So when I had this open, covers open, you see that? And then I can just say, I know, because I'm putting my paper in. Now when I close this again, now my light is green. So now I'm ready to go. Now again, this is transparent. paper. So what I'm going to do, let me grab, you can see what this all looks like. I'm going to grab some coffee dyed paper. I have a sheet right here. And I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to use some of their images in the graphics because I do think that they are beautiful. So let's look, like this one. I think that one is absolutely beautiful. So if I hit print, I'm going to keep that to medium for my thickness. I just want one. I'm going to hit print. Automatically starts printing the moment you hit that. I find that amazing. And you always want to tear up. And that's what the image looks like. Now again, it's thermal, so you don't have to wait for it to dry. It's automatically going to be dry. I'm going to pull that off, and I am going to put this on my coffee dyed paper. I think these are going to make great cutouts. Okay, and now you can even download that image as well. Let's see, what else do we have? Go into the comic. I think that one's really pretty as well. Same thing. Gonna hit print. Gonna pull up. Now I am finding that the translucent paper takes a little bit more to tear off than the white paper. Oh, I like that. These look really, really nice and very strong. I mean, I cannot lift. Let's see, I was able to grab that. You can see it's just tearing at the paper. So they are going to stay there very well. If we go back and let's check that one out because I think that one's pretty as well. I just like this look for these images and on the coffee dyed paper, and then when we cut them out or when we put them down on our tags, that will be absolutely fantastic. It is shiny, the paper. It's not a matte. There is a gloss to it, as you can see. But I can come in here, and if I cut along that paper or that line, I now have images that I can add to my collages. I also have images that I can die cut for my card making if I wanted to. And again, I'm just trimming around the line of the paper. So you can see, I mean, these are great images. Now, I think what would also be cool, oh, hold on. Okay. Hold on there. I have an idea. So one of the things that we have, or have access to, okay, so one of the things that I have, my father and I, who has since passed, we used to own and operate a stamp and coin store. So I found all of these as I saw Wendy create her slides and everybody else. And then I had also found these. Now I had made one project, but I have couple more coming out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these and create a couple projects. Now again, I'm just going to pull this off because this is what I found last time I did this. If I pull this off, I do still have something to adhere this front to, which is awesomely fine. I'm going to set these aside and I will save those. But what I'm going to do is I am going to cut a piece of coffee dye paper to be 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. All right. So let's go with 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. Because then I'm going to put that right here. And I'm going to glue that down. So I still have that piece right up there. Of course, I need to grab my Distress ink. Because we must distress the edges, as always. And I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this. Just a thin layer. And I'm going to place that down. And yes, when I put this down, it's going to have that white on there, but I'm okay with that. I truly, truly am. I think that just adds to it, but at least I'm able to get that paper down in there. We'll be doing something with that in a moment. Now, what I am going to do to that, though, Just going to dirty this side up. And what I can do is I can actually have that side facing up, which would be great. All right, now let's grab let's look through our photos again. Let's see what we have, see what's in here. Some of them are great. You can see some of the images look absolutely wonderful. Again, if you are that planner with all of the images and everything else. You can see I'm going for the vintage look, the vintage images, or let's say the sketch. So let's go back up. And you know what one I think I'm going to do? I think I'm actually going to do, I want to do that one. I'm going to hit my print. I'm going to pull that up. See, it's a little tougher, just saying. And then I do want to print the other one, this one here. So I want to have both of them. Okay, so I'm going to come down with this one first. And I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to come in with this one. And I'm actually going to come above it and put that and I'm going to put that one there. So you can see I can overlap that. Feels nicely off of my mat, and I'm going to trim this edge off. I'm going to look for some labels. And of course, it must be a specific label. And I'm looking through, I recently just got the Fox Creative, Tracy Fox Creative, the random sciencey labels. So I'm going to use the field note and one of these numbers here. And I think I'm going to use I know it's not, you know, I think I'm going to go with this one. Cut that out. And I'm really going to look at this one. Okay. We must ink always. And we'll cut this one. So I'm going to put this down. To my bottom corner there. And then I'm going to put this one up here. Okay, let's try that again. And I'm actually going to bring that up just a little bit. And now I'm going to glue this. I'm just going to put a thin line along the bottom and along each of the sides. And I'm going to start in one corner. Make sure she's lined up. And then I'm going to drop that down. This glue does dry clear. That's what's nice about the art glitter glue. And you can see the last thing that we need to do, of course, is to just really ink up those sides. And I'm just going to come in and just darken that up with my tool as well. So you can see you have a pocket here as well if you want, or you can just leave that the way that it is, and then you would be able to put this down into your journal and then just put glue on your three sides and keep this open, and you would have a pocket up here. So that's one thing. By using the translucent and having that piece that comes over it, it kind of disguises the shininess, but that's okay. We seem to be using a lot of acetate in our creative world. So that's one project that I thought of. And then these. Okay, we've seen all of these. Wendy has done just some wonderful things with these. I'll try to link to a couple. Now, what I'm seeing in here, I am going to come in on the edges real quick though, just to get that going. I'm okay if I get it on the outside, but I definitely want to make sure that this is all kinds, yeah, I throw things a lot, is all kinds of inked up. So now that we have that, what I'd love to do, there was an image that I saw in one of the newest. I'm looking at a bug. And I'm going to print. And I'm going to print. And I'm also going to do one of mine from one of my print images. And that is this beautiful rose. And again, I'm going to hit the print on the upper bar, and then I'm going to hit the print down below, and I'm going to get those printed right away. flattened out a little bit. Now I'm going to come in with my, this is 1.5 inch hole puncher. And I'm going to put that bug, I know I'm going to be, I should have made him smaller, but that's okay. See if I can do that. Yes, that works. This is a nice thick plastic, just saying. And I'm going to do the same thing to my rose. Oh, it's a nice, big, and beautiful image. But it does take a little bit of force because that plastic, it is extremely strong. Now I'm going to grab another one and I'm just going to do the same thing. I want to ink around the edge. And I'm going to come around these edges. I'm going to bend that down. Okay. So now I'm going to flip these over. And what I'm going to do is this size circle is perfect for this opening. Now this is a silver dollar, if anyone remembers the piece dollars. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put this right in there. I'm going to stick that down. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. And I'm going to put that down in there, hopefully straight. And I'm just going to really push that down to make sure. And then I'm going to close my piece, and I am going to use some glue. And I'm going to keep it to the edge and just a little bit on these corners because I don't want it to come through. And I'm going to hold that for a little bit because that clear plastic that's here stays. It's all throughout the piece, as you can see. See, it's all throughout the inside of this piece. Now, you do want to make sure that your edges, again, when this is cut, it's a nice thick plastic. I'm really liking this. For these types of projects. But then again, I also do like the vellum as well. I like the way the vellum looks also. So if I bring up a piece of, so now you can see how it just popped open. So you really got to hold it. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to grab a paper clip and I'm going to clip it. And I'm going to clip it over here. There. So you can see just that image, just faintly. Again, it's going to be black and white or black and gray. Now, if you see this one, you can see that one just a little bit more. So it will be kind of cool and different within our journals. So these are, I see a lot of potential with this as I just played with these right now. When it comes to a review on something like this, I do want you to see my initial reaction and say, okay, this is what this is. So I do see it in the paper crafting world. I do see it primarily for your planners because they can make cute little tiny images. They can make cute little tiny check-off lists. and everything else. But again, with where we're moving into our paper crafting world, I do see so many possibilities for this as well. I am loving for these when it comes to those creations. So I do hope that if you have this, I gave you some more ideas on what you can do. I will have the link to where you can get this printer down below, and along with the other things that I used as well. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below, and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. Continue to enjoy your day. Continue to stay safe and healthy. And I apologize, I didn't think this video was going to be this long, but you know what? I gab. Yes, I gab. I get curious. I have a lot of fun. I did have a break in there because I was looking for something as well. But please, thank you so much for stopping by. I am truly grateful that you take a little bit of your day out just to watch this video. But remember what's always most important to me. Each and every day in whatever we do, always be creative. Till next time, guys.